All right. Today is January 14th, 2021. It's the first meeting in the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. We're going to start our SB community meeting. Let's start with the first item on our agenda. Theater.
Hello. So over the recent month or longer, there was a few attempts of contributors trying to fix the gRPC problem. Currently, gRPC, I think, is version 124 or 125, and we are stuck on 129.1. There are 2 or 3 reasons for this: changes in the picker package made in the experimental code of gRPC, significant changes and deprecation of the naming package, and the GoGo protocol buffer changes, or the protocol buffer 1.4 changes. What we found is that the biggest blocker to upgrade to the new gRPC is the protocol buffer changes, but we can solve the 2 remaining problems, so the picker API and the naming package dependency, still staying on gRPC 1.29. This means that we can either delete these packages or we can preserve the functionality by slightly changing our external API. And there is a linked user guide, like the documentation change, how the API would be changed, and the STL with some prototype of these changes. So I wanted to request a review of this and to either contribute or guide other contributors to make it happen before the significant investment in the implementation happens. And on the front of the GoGo protocol buffer changes, like there is work in the community to benchmark and assess how big is the difference in performance between GoGo generated code and Google generator, Golang generator code. Thank you.
Did you talk to any of the people who you CC'd on the CL or on the on your PR? Did you see them?
So this is a relatively recent PR, I think, from Monday. So
okay,
not yet.
Okay. Yeah. Let's probably add some of them to the assignee so they could actually have a higher priority on their email list to see it. So hold on, someone. So next item, I need to share the screen. Yeah, next item is from Nate about the documentation improvement.
Oh, good timing, Josh. So I just wanted to sort of call attention to the improvement plan additions that I've suggested in Josh's original repo. The 2 after spending some time working on figuring out how best to implement the improvement plan, I've got 2 suggestions I think that might want a community or maintainer sort of input. So I wanted to call attention to the first idea that potentially we migrate the documentation, the canonical documentation, out of the code repo and into the website repo. And just on the screen share there, the two comments that I'm talking about are quite far down the list there.
I'm sorry. I keep the screen share just keep jumped out. Let me just share this one document probably.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry for that.
No problem at all. So yeah, so the first idea I'd like to sort of bring people's attention to is the possibility of migrating the documentation out of the code repo into the website repo so that we can have it all in sort of one place. We're not worrying about having multiple documents across different sites, meaning we have to maintain both spaces. There's a few other sort of advantages there, but I wanted to sort of bring it to the community's attention. One of the bigger advantages is, I think, being able to have a better CI pipeline where we can say, all right, we've got a release and like a current. So the latest release would be set, but any updates can be on the current thing, so we can have the published documentation keep up more closely to the code versions more automatically. And then the second thing that I wanted to bring to the attention of the community is potentially changing the site theme. Currently, the site is quite sort of custom. It's very it's built for what you're doing, which is fine, but a lot of the content is built into things like config files, and the content is also like embedded in some HTML files, which would in Hugo normally be just templates rather than content holding spaces. Now, moving to Docsy is one way to solve that problem. There are other ways. But I think that Docsy also provides some other nice documentation advantages, laying the groundwork for localization, for instance, taking advantage of some of the other knowledge in the CNCF network. I know Kubernetes and I think gRPC also uses Docsy on their site. And so sort of taking things out of the config files and putting them into a sort of a file based structure, the MD structure, which is sort of more natural to Hugo sites, might make the site more easy to maintain for non-web developers moving forward as well. So I just wanted to sort of bring those pieces up. I sent an email to the maintainers email list, but I figured since we have a community meeting today, I'd bring it up here as well.
Thank you. Josh and Gilho, do you have any comments on this? I think it's all on Josh's original issue. Or we can do it.
No, I mean, Nate and I already collaborated on this, so okay. I don't have any additional comments. This was the plan. I didn't suggest a move to a doc framework earlier because when we started this, it honestly didn't occur to me that people would be okay with that level of change. But then we asked a couple of folks who both said that they didn't really care how the docs were hosted as long as they were easy to maintain, and hence this proposal.
I think this is great. You know, like anything that can make it easier for the maintainers to do the thing that we're best at, which is like getting the factual things right in the docs, and then having everything else kind of follow through with that, and having good SEO, having them look nice. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Josh, thanks for taking the ownership of this. Like, I just want to make sure, like, you're not blocked on anything, like, on our side. Like, is there any, like, a pending PRs blocked on us, or it can be done? They can be done, like, independently?
I don't believe I'm blocked. No, I just wanted to, because these are two additions to the improvement plan, I wanted to reach back out and make sure that these changes are also appropriate and approved. I don't think that there's any blocker yet. I haven't actually started on these two particular pieces, but I think that in terms of how we order the changes, these changes may be better done earlier in the process than later. I think that we can do these in sort of any order, but I feel like if we do these first, it makes some of the things that we need to do on the list a little bit easier.
That sounds good. Thank
Yeah,
you,
that makes
Nate.
sense. If you need any maintainers to kind of look it over at any point and make sure that things still look reasonable after like a style change or whatever, feel free to ping us. We'd be happy to try and find somebody to do that.
Thank you.
Yuho, you joined after the first topic, so I just want to update that. Hold on, this jumped out again. Peter was talking about the client naming API proposal. Let me share it again.
So I thought we already changed the package name. No.
Here.
So as part of the modularization in 3.5, we changed the package name, but we haven't like submitted any PRs that are migrating the code to not depend on the old naming packages. And this PR is for now proposing API how to preserve the functionality with some API changes and providing better isolation from the underlying gRPC changes.
Okay. Yeah, I will take a look. Thank you. Also, I do like, I'm not sure if we discussed this earlier, but like, so I think like Peter like already did a lot of work. Like, do you already have a right access to the repository?
No, I don't have any access.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, we will give you the right access so you don't get blocked.
Thank you.
All right, that's all on our agenda. Is there anything else from the audience? All right, if not, we'll see you guys in 4 weeks, and have a good day. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Sorry, can I ask some questions?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I was thinking, in what way you're doing this conversation? I didn't realize you were doing programming increment here. So I've got a couple of questions. I'm working on one company which, and I would like to understand some principles for etcdd, if it's possible to ask some questions. So do you know, is there any plans or risk at CD to stopping support version 2 API? Do you know anything about that?
So definitely we want to remove all the v2 storage dependency, and I think in that 3.5 release, potentially we will be not using any read code from the storage v2. And in v3 we will, and in the 3.6 there is a plan to decommission storage v2. There is integration translation layer between storage v3 and API v2. And I don't know what are the plans to maintain long term.
So I presume we need to migrate as soon as possible to version 3, just to be in update, as far as I understand. So we can't stay in version 2 so far.
We don't. I haven't heard about any plans to invest in the v2 API. It's rather perceived as a legacy of the v2 version of component.
Yeah, the convention in SCD is we support 3 minor versions. So right now, the latest official version is 3.4. So we support 3.2, 3.3, and 3.4. So v2 is not on the list.
Okay, so there is still risk. Okay, just staying on that. Thank you for your answer. And
there, just one thing, there is documentation on how to upgrade from v2 to v3 on that website, on the GitHub repo. So you can take a look at that.
So there is derived another question regarding with this. So we have currently version 2.3.8, and I presume we have to gradually to upgrade everything. We can't just jump off to the latest version from that, as far as I understand. Do we really need to follow the sequence like 2.3 until 3.0, and then after that from 3.0 to 3.1, from 3.1 to 3.2, and so on? Do we have to do in that way?
Let me send the link of the update documentation. You can see there are breaking changes in between different versions. So it really depends on how your SCD is used.
Okay, so
there are specific upgrade guidance on like each minor version upgrade, but yeah, you definitely don't want to upgrade too fast.
Yeah, because in that case, I explained to you, we can't do in that way, because we are ship etcd from source, and upgrading like this would be highly complex for us. So in case we upgrade to version 3.0, can we upgrade toward the latest one, or we still need to make steps like I mentioned?
There are breaking change in between different minor versions too.
Okay.
So there is like Kubernetes have a process that is like going over downloading consecutive versions, minor versions of etcd, and running for a while previous version. It changes the incompatible changes in the files, and then finally you reach the current minor version. So this is, in case of Kubernetes, it's based on packing multiple etcd binaries, not sources, to a single Docker image.
Sorry, is that yes or no? I'm not.
So the answer is all the supported procedures, assuming running the versions one by one.
So yeah. So we still need to gradually just upgrade by minor versions.
Yes.
3.1, 3.2, and so on.
Yes, I would hope at some point etcd would move the scripts for Kubernetes and make it a part of the etcd repository, because the code has nothing specific to to Kubernetes, and potentially develop some smarter migrator, but it's like science fiction from the
For
current
us,
perspective.
yeah, for us it seems to be gonna be huge work because we didn't break at CD several years so
Yes.
far.
So, like, I recently also wrote a documentation about the current etcd storage format files. And this is based on the code from the release 3.4. And potentially there is a homework to do, by looking at the historical versions and documenting what really changed in the storage files between those versions. And this would be a very good step towards building a migrator as a single binary that is able to take historical file, know what changed, and apply the tweaks to make the storage compatible with a new version. Nobody is working on this, but personally, I think it would be a very useful tool.
Okay, would you please send me any information regarding with that? So the risks I mentioned, the what were any other useful links. I found some of them, but maybe you would send me anything else you consider the best for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I sent 2 links in the meeting chat.
You could email me as well if you like.
Could you open the issue in the Git etcd project on Git, and then it's probably a good place to put links for posterity.
Okay, will do. So yeah, I'll go to the. Okay, yeah, makes sense. I'll do that. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, that's all for today.
That's it from me. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. All right. Bye.
Bye.